Good morning, everyone. We are about 2 minutes away from starting here. Just wanted to say good morning to everyone and welcome everyone this morning. We'll get started in about 2 minutes. Really excited to have you all on the session this morning. So we're going to wait for everyone to load in. I think we've got a good amount of people that will be joining us this morning. So we'll just wait a few more minutes for the 9 o'clock hour and then we'll get started. Morning, Barb. If I could get everyone to just write yes in the chat box if you can hear me right now. I just want to test my sound to make sure everything is working well. It's fantastic. Awesome. And let me know if you can see me now. Good morning, everyone. My name is Curtis. Good morning, Gordon. Good morning, Tracy. Andrew, good morning. Ian, hello. Shelly, lots of people here. Darren, good morning. Walter, glad you could join us, Walter. Good morning, Christine. Pleasure that you could join us. 9 o'clock, guys. We're just going to give it one more minute so that everyone could load on here. Very excited. If you're already on the webinar, what I'd love for you to do is grab a copy of your schedule. If it's on your computer, that's great. Maybe you can open a tab and have your schedule ready, because we're going to really dive into your schedules, your routines, sort of things that you have in your schedule right now. I'd love for it to be sort of an interactive session that way, so that we can give you some concrete things to put into your schedule right away. When you leave here today, you'll have some things that you can implement in your day. All right, happy Monday to you too, Daryl. We'll give it one more minute for everybody. Again, welcome, good morning. It's Monday morning. We're very excited that you're here and really excited to dive into this session today about routines. So we'll give it one more minute and then we're gonna get started. Again, if you're just joining us, guys, if you could pull up your schedule somewhere in another tab on your computer, or if you have a day planner in front of you, maybe pull that out. A pen, piece of paper for any nuggets that you might want to grab from the session today. Always best practice to do that as well. So just make sure you're prepared. You got your coffee, much like myself, and we're going to work through this together today. It's going to be great. And just give me one more yes in the chat bar for those people that are just joining us. That sound is okay. You can hear me. Everything is all right. Want to make sure that you get the most from the session. Thank you, Bernard, Kayla. Lori, Gurud. Oh my God, Lori, hope you're well. Nice to see you as well. Ryan, pleasure. Awesome. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. It's 1 minute after the hour. I'm very thankful again that you guys could make it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my PowerPoint on the screen here, and we're just going to start rocking and rolling. So if you have a copy of your schedule, that would be best practice to have it in front of you as we work through the session today. And again, our session today, guys, is all around routines and the importance of a daily routine and setting yourself up for success. This is something that I'm very, very passionate about. I feel like routine is something that I need in my life to help me move forward. It really keeps me on track and keeps me moving forward on all the goals that I have set, right? So we're going to be breaking down a few things here today, but more specifically, we're really going to try to dial in what we're doing on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Now that we're working remotely, how do we take our routine and how do we mold it into our environment and what it looks like now to be working remotely? So if you're finding it challenging from working from home, just give me a yes in the chat bar right now. If your routine has kind of for lack of better terms, gone to shit now that you're working remotely from home and you're finding it a little tougher to stay on track with stuff. Chris is giving me a 1,000%. Patrice, yes. Patrice, thanks for joining as well. Tricky, very tricky. Absolutely, Christine. And you know what? Routines for everybody at this point are something that are tough, right? That's why we really wanted to dive into that today. So we're going to move forward. Again, my name is Curtis Hamilton. I'm the Director of Training here for Sandler Maritimes. Again, if you've been joining us on these free webinar sessions, this is our 4th one in the series. We have another one running on Wednesday and another one running on Friday. So we really hope that you can join us for these sessions. And we're really hoping that these sessions are bringing a lot of stuff to your day and making an impact for you and your teams. So let's hop right into the new one. So again, here's a review of our sessions. We've already touched on digital networking and leveraging LinkedIn. We have copies of that on our YouTube page. Our president, Eric Fry, went into behaviors, attitudes, and techniques in increasing your batting average and eliminating head trash, which was a very impactful session. We're going to touch on some of those components as well today, but again, that's on our YouTube channel. Mark, one of our associates, went into managing accounts. Another great impactful session, again, available on our YouTube channel. And today we're going to talk about daily routines for success. And here's our upcoming sessions. So on Wednesday, I'll be talking about moving from a vendor to an advisor sort of mindset. And then we're going to talk about digital selling on Friday with Mark. Again, reminder, guys, there's only 100 spots available for these sessions. So sign up while you can. And again, we're really, hoping that you guys can get a lot from these sessions as we really enjoy delivering them to you guys. So let's get started. So does this sound familiar for you guys? Are you frustrated right now? I know that we opened up the chat and a lot of people are frustrated already with regards to their routine. Yeah, and the most important tasks never get done. I mean, a lot of times we'll have the best of intentions for our routine and we'll write down things we want to get done in the day. And now working remotely, some people might find it really hard to get those tasks done, or maybe they never get done. Your to-do list, even after a long day, gets even longer. And your intentions, which is a big thing we're going to talk about today, your intentions and your accomplishments, never seem to match up. And that's a big thing, guys, right? Like you have the best of intentions, but the output is not matching. And that's something we're going to try to break for you guys today and sort of give you some breakthroughs on that. You're increasingly busy, but not achieving little, right? Like we're going to talk about that busy bug sort of, mindset of, yeah, I'm really busy, but what's the output look like? Are you actually getting anything done? Are you making an impact on your day, on your week, on your month, on your year, really, right? So in the bottom line here, and I highlighted that, is because we're all professionals on this session today. You wouldn't be on this session right now if you weren't a professional, you weren't a top performer, you weren't someone that already knows what to do, right? I want that to sink in. You already know what to do, but maybe sometimes you're just not doing it. Okay, and that's something we're really going to look at today, and your routine can help with that. Because we're all professionals. We all know what we need to do on a daily basis, but sometimes our minds go in other directions. So we're going to try to combat that for you guys today. So decision fatigue. So this is something we want to address right away. So we know that we make a lot of decisions day in and day out. So a little Forbes article that we were reading the other day said that we make up to 35,000 decisions each day. So if you think about that on a weekly, monthly, and yearly basis, that's like mind-blowing to me, really, that we make 35,000 decisions a day, plus all the stuff that you're doing for work, right? So each decision kills our productivity, and your willpower will wane if you're not getting things done. We go into default mode. So that's where we just have things on our list again. And we start to do things that are not urgent or unimportant. We just get the things done that are, really quick that we can get done. And it might not be making as big an impact on our day as we want. So a little quote here from Brendon Burchard, who's someone I'm a big advocate of. He does a lot of work with high performers all over the planet. I've studied a lot of his materials. And he quotes that if you want to become extraordinary, you must figure out the productive outputs that matter in your field or industry. Okay, so what I'd love for us to do is on your piece of paper in front of you, I'm going to give everybody about 1 minute to write down what are the productive outputs that matter most in your field or industry right now. Okay, what are the most productive outputs that matter in your field or industry right now? I'll give everybody about 1 or 2 minutes to write down as many as you can. We'll get everybody to start going on that. And if anyone would feel comfortable sharing in the chat bar, what are some productive outputs that matter in your field or industry? Let's see if we can start to share, you know, in the chat bar, because a lot of what you're going through, some other people might be going through as well, right? So, and we might have people from the same industry. So new business, thank you, Darren, for sharing. Keeping in touch with clients, thank you, Barb. Connecting with clients, okay, so we're seeing some similarities already. Showing them you understand their business and circumstances. Calling warm leads, yeah, absolutely. Customer support, employee safety, thank you, Roger. All very important. Generating revenue, Tracy, thank you. Keeping the funnel full, yes, Daryl, absolutely. Sales orders, new business opportunities. Sales orders, new opportunities, yep. Keeping your funnel, yep, keeping your funnel full. So as you can see, guys, a lot of the people on the webinar today are going through the exact same things maybe that you're going through, right? So this is why a routine on a daily, weekly, it could be an hourly basis is so important right now, especially working from home and working remotely. So here, what's the answer? So we need to make fewer decisions. We need to limit the amount of decisions that we're making each day. We need to be conscious of the decisions that we're making each day. We need to create powerful routines, not just routines. We need to create powerful routines that give us leverage and talk about needle moving activities. So the activities that you guys just wrote down, those things that are most important to your niche or your market, I want for you to now take a look at your schedule really quickly. If you can look at your schedule, if it's in front of you, or if it's in another tab, and I want you to assess your schedule really quickly here. Do you have your schedule blocked out for needle moving activities? So a needle moving activity would be something that helps you achieve a goal on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Something that, you know, if your biggest output right now is trying to fill your funnel, do you have needle moving activities right now in your routine that help you fill your funnel? If you're a project manager, do you have things in your day right now that are helping you move the needle on those projects that you're managing? Calls set up, people that you need to get in touch with, people you need to hold accountable to things. What does your day look like? So I want you to assess that really quickly right now. Take 30 seconds, look at your schedule. And let's take a look and let's share in the chat bar. Is your day set up for your needle moving activities? Give me a yes or a no. Walter says yes. Okay, that's great, Walter. Great, great, great. Awesome, Rob. We got a yes from Rob. Very good. Very good. A lot of people saying yes here, guys. This is mostly, yeah, okay, that's great. I appreciate the honesty, Christine. But room for improvement, great. Hopefully the session can help. So a lot of you are saying yes to that. So we do have our schedule set up for needle moving activities, which is fantastic. But now we need to look at, are we actually getting those things accomplished? So give me a yes if your day is set up and you're actually getting things accomplished in your day. Getting better at it, yes. Roger says yes. Fantastic. Walter, yes, great. Not as much recently. Okay, Martin, I appreciate the honesty. 70%, Daryl says. So we're trying our best, right, guys? As professionals, we understand that our routine is very important, but sometimes our environments sort of dictate what we can get done and what we can't get done, and we need to be holding ourselves accountable to that. So we're also going to look at increasing the clarity, necessity, and productivity in your routine. So are you super clear on what you need to do each day? And I'm talking like minute, in the weeds clear on what you need to do. Are you raising necessity on things that absolutely need to get done? And that's where this statement comes into play. We want to move from I need to get this done, or it would be nice to get this done today, to I must do this today. That is a massive shift. So I need to do this to a I must do this mindset. This is where routine and having a powerful routine start to take shape, okay? So the first thing that we're going to touch on, guys, is something that is the crux basically of a lot of the foundational work that we do here at Sandler, and that is our success triangles. And our president, Eric Fry, went into a detailed session last week where he talked about eliminating head trash, and this is a major component of that. So our success triangle really is made up of three things, which is your behaviors, your attitudes, and your technique. Okay, so being successful in your day starts with your behaviors, starts with your habits. So what I'd love for you to do really quickly right now again, and this is very interactive today, guys, is I want you to write down 5 things, if you can, 5 things really quickly in front of you. What are some behaviors that you do every single day? Every single day. And if you feel comfortable sharing, that would be great. But what are some things that you do every single day in your day? And let's see if we can share some of those. Just behaviors. Follow-ups, good. Get dressed for work. That's an easy one, right, Barb? Absolutely. Shower. These are all part of it. Yeah. Personal grooming, walking. Yeah. Thank you, Rob. To-do list. Outstanding. Okay. And now I want you to shift. Perfect. Contact all employees every day. Awesome, Roger. So now I want you to take a look at your behaviors, and I want you to picture yourself sitting at your desk or your environment right now that you're in. And what are the behaviors that you have right now on your day-to-day that have changed? What are some things that have changed in your day-to-day? And if you feel comfortable sharing those, that would be great. Can't go on the road. Okay, so you're on the road a lot. Maybe that's a behavior. Absolutely. Daily conference calls. Okay, that's a big one. So I guess maybe give me a yes in the chat bar if your daily behaviors have changed since being at home. Yes. Okay, Tracy. Yes. Lots of yeses coming through. So absolutely. Everything has changed now that you're being at home now, you're working remotely. Your behavioral habits will change. And this is where we need to be flexible and adaptable, right? This is also going to impact our attitudes. If our behaviors are not set or not aligned with our main goals, our attitude will take a pounding, and therefore our techniques will take a pounding. So it's very important that we understand that behaviors, attitudes, and techniques will absolutely impact our success. Okay, so definition of success. So success is the result of connecting your attitudes, behaviors, and techniques, which we've talked about. And this is something that is the foundational work of our sales mastery course and our foundational work here at Sandler. A lot of it comes from these triangles that we're going to break down today. And this will help you get a very, very solid foundation when looking at routines. Okay, we've all heard that busy is the new stupid, right, guys? How many times we've all fallen guilty to this, that, people ask us how things are going at work, and we all say, good, really busy. Give me a yes in the chat bar if you're guilty of this. Yeah, really busy right now. Staying busy. Yeah, absolutely. Matthew, Mark. Yeah, absolutely. Lindsay, thank you. Right, guys? And this is what we're trying to eliminate. We want to get away from this mindset, this behavioral sort of day in and day out of just trying to remain busy. We really want to look at something that Brendan Burchard talks about is PQO. Right? Prolific quality output. And I'm going to say that again, PQO, prolific quality output. These are basically needle moving activities. So instead of being busy throughout the day, we want to evaluate what we're working on and making sure that it's pertaining to our PQO, our prolific quality output. Are we getting the most from the time that we're spending on that block time in our day on this specific activity, is this going to give me the most bang for my buck? That's what we want to start looking at when we're looking at routines, especially working from home. So again, we are repeatedly, we are what we repeatedly do. So excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Who would agree with that, with Aristotle's fact there that he said? Barb says she can always be busy. Absolutely. Daryl, you agree with that? Tracy, I appreciate that. We are what we repeatedly do, guys. And day in and day out, if I continually eat, cake. If I eat cake every single day of my life, I eat cake, what's going to happen to me at the end of a month? You'll be happy. Absolutely, Shannon. I will be happy. Matthew, I'll get fat. I'll love cake. Absolutely, right? But the end result is I'll most likely put on weight, but is that something I necessarily need to be doing right now in my life, right? So we need to look at what are we repeatedly doing on our days now working remotely. Am I being as effective as I can be, right? And routine is defined as, a routine is a sequence of actions that you do repeatedly. So this is going to play right into today's session, sorry. So in the right hands, a routine can be finely calibrated mechanism for taking advantage of a range of limited resources. Time, who would agree that time is our most valuable resource right now? Yep, absolutely. Give me a yes if you think that time is your most valuable resource. Everybody agrees. So everybody, I'm sure that, you know, everybody that's on the webinar, all 70 of us would agree that time is our most valuable asset. So when we look at our daily schedule and our routine, are we really doing the best that we can to utilize our time, right? That's what we need to look at, as well as willpower, self-discipline, optimism, which is a massive one right now, guys. Optimism. We need to check our levels of optimism. Are we going into today with a good mindset? Are we ready for the day? Have we worked out? Have we generated energy in our bodies to make sure that we're attacking today with a good mindset, right? So a solid routine fosters a well-worn groove for one's mental energies and helps stave off the tyranny of moods. Honest to God, guys, working from home, I've done it for the last decade, for the last 10 years, maybe longer. A lot of it has to do with your mental energy, right? Being in an environment, now that we're sort of secluded or quarantined to our environments that we're in right now, a lot of us probably are, your mental energy is what's going to push you forward, your mood. Give me a yes in the chat bar right now. I'm really curious if your mood has been impacted by what's going on as you sit and work throughout the day. Give me a yes or a no. Absolutely. Thank you, Christine. Adam, thank you for joining. Yes, lots of yeses, right, guys? So this is where we really need to look at your routine. If you wrote yes in that chat bar, then you absolutely need to look at your routine and how you're carrying out your routine. That is so important when you're looking at your mood, okay? So high achievers tend to find routines that work for them and then stick to them. I'm going to say that again. High achievers tend to find routines that work for them and then stick to them, right? You got to stick to it. That's the hardest part about working from home or working remotely, is finding that consistency, holding yourself accountable, that discipline. That routine ultimately becomes is just a form of accountability and discipline, right? It's typically something they credit as a core to their success. So high performers, guys, the people that are getting the most outputs right now on your teams or in your businesses, in your market, this is where we really want to look at the core, right? The core of your routine. The core of their routine is what's pushing them forward, is what's making them move further into, you know, achieving things, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick poll here. I'd love for you guys to answer. Give everybody a couple minutes to get that, or maybe a minute, and we'll see what we can get there. Okay, so I currently have a successful daily, weekly, monthly routine, 66%. 63%, we'll give it maybe a few more seconds here. Okay, so we're looking at about high 60s, guys. We're looking at about high 60s for that. So, and what I would challenge you guys on is, you know, the poll question said a successful routine. So I'd really love for you guys to sort of formulate what success means to you. And we went through this in one of our past sessions, really identifying what a victory looks like and what does it look like if your routine is successful. Okay? Maybe you can share in the chat bar, what does it mean to be successful for you guys right now? It could be filling your funnel. It could be staying on top of projects. It could be moving a project along. What does a successful day look like? Continue to close business. Okay, Blair, awesome. Continued communication with my clients. I love that. Helping customers solve their challenges. I love that, Matthew. Yeah, vision and clarity throughout the day. Really isolating specific things. Love it. Progress on goals. All great things, guys, right? So let's keep that top of mind. When we're looking at our daily routine, we really need to be looking at what is our PQO, right? Is our prolific quality output. What are we going to get done today? And is it going to get done? I'm going to do everything in my day, in my power to get this done. Okay, so let's now take a look at that behavioral triangle, which was part of our success triangle, and we're going to blow it up a little bit. We're going to look at your routine and why attaching your routine to goals and specific goals is absolutely mission critical. Okay, so here we have our behaviors, and it's broken into just 3 things: your plan, your goals, and your actions. Okay, so this is really what is going to drive your behaviors. So your goal setting should be done on a yearly, quarterly, and daily basis. So who right now on the chat, on the session, sets daily goals? Maybe you can say a yes in the chat bar if you're setting daily goals for yourself right now. Awesome. Lots of daily goals. Weekly, not daily. Okay, Matthew, absolutely. Do you guys find, and maybe you can give me a yes in the chat bar as well, do you find that you're sticking to your goals, or are you just writing them down? Are you absolutely achieving every goal that you write down on a daily basis? Most of the time, 90% of the time, okay. A certain percentage of the time, 75% of the time, 85%, okay. So we'll start to notice a little bit of a pattern here, right, guys? And again, this is something that's very common. We're going to write daily goals down with the best of intentions, but if we're not following through on them 100%, why not? Right? That's where we need to ask ourselves, what happened today that, you know, stopped me from getting this goal done? Or why did I not stick to my routine when this happened? We need to be always self-evaluating. It's so important working remotely, guys, to always be assessing what you're doing with your time. Is it getting, you know, are things getting done that should be getting done? And if they're not, then why not? Assess yourself, grade yourself. A lot of people don't like to do that, right? Give me a yes or a no in the chat bar right now if you actually assess yourself every day after work and give yourself a score. Say a score out of 5. Shannon says she assesses herself every hour. Matt, no, I don't. Adam, great if you're doing that. No, we get a lot of no's here. So that might be something we start to implement into our day, guys, is, you know, that when we're done work at 5 or whatever time you're sort of closing up the books at, give yourself a score. How did I do today? Was I effective? Was I impactful? Did I make an impact in my business? These are all great things to take inventory on. So again, we want to really be setting those goals on a yearly, quarterly, and daily basis. And there's all sorts of different goal setting techniques that you can use. I'm sure a lot of us on the call are familiar with the SMART goal setting. I know Lori, you're probably very versed in that. But you know, there's a lot of different techniques that you can use to set goals. It's very easy to go out on, you know, good old Google and set yourself some goal, find some good goal setting techniques. Here at Sandler, we use the cookbook, and that is something that if you don't know what it is, it basically breaks down what you're doing on a daily basis to help you move towards what you're trying to achieve. So that's something that we teach here in all of our foundational programs, as well as Sales Mastery, is the cookbook, and why it's so important to have that set up and ready to go. So what we also teach too inside of our Sales Mastery program is something called synergistic goal setting. So a lot of times when you set goals, you're going to be setting goals for your career or for your day. What do I need to get done today or this week? And it usually pertains around your work. When people usually ask you, tell me about yourself, a lot of times you're going to tell them, what you do for work. But what we're trying to show at Sandler is that there's 8 main areas in your life that you should have at least one goal for. And these are the main 8 areas. Okay, guys? Again, this is a synergistic goal setting approach, which basically encompasses these 9 headings to help you move towards your main passion or your main mission in life, right? So you've got your social and your community, you've got your health goals, right? I'm hoping that everybody on the call, maybe you can give me a yes in the chat bar right now if you're taking your health very seriously right now, because this is a time, yes, okay, great. We really want to make sure that we've got health goals and health priorities set. Spiritual goals. Who on the chat right now, if you don't mind sharing, has some spiritual goals or mindfulness goals that they have set for themselves? Very important. As we talked about your mood earlier, meditation, absolutely, Matthew. Daryl, absolutely. Meditation, so important, right? I know for myself, I get up, I work out, I meditate in the morning. I also go through my journals, which I'm going to show with you guys what I use for my day-to-day, which works very, very well for me. Financial and retirement goals. Do we have those set up? Educational goals, career goals, relationship and family goals, and personal goals, right? These are the 8 main areas, guys, that if we really want to take a systematic or a synergistic approach to goal setting, we really want to take a look at those 8 main areas. So give me a yes in the chat right now if you're using these 8 main areas right now to set your goals. And if not, will you implement this? Because this will help. Yes, we got lots of yeses. That's great. Andrew, perfect. Absolutely. And a great point there. We don't have to take all of these, guys, right? Maybe there's a few that you want to start with and start to implement into your goal setting and why you're doing things. Because on a daily basis, if you've got your 8 main areas, kind of your goals set for those 8 main areas, then each day you're working towards all those 8. That's what pushes you. That's what's propelling you to get your day, started and keeping your day productive. Awesome. And it's okay if you're not going to cover all of them, Patrice, right? We just want to take a couple of these. This is the synergistic approach. It's just picking a few and really trying to own in on what that looks like when you set those goals. As you can probably tell, I'm very passionate about goal setting because I've seen some great things come from goal setting. Some absolutely amazing, like life-changing events that have come from goal setting in this way. Synergistic goal setting can make a massive impact on your life. So if you really want to push yourself forward, I highly recommend you take a look at these 8 areas and try to set some goals for them. And again, if you don't want to pick all 8, pick a few out. I think the most important ones obviously are your health, spiritual, right? Your career right now, depending where you're at, some personal goals in there, but everything's got to be moving in the same direction. That's the important aspect that we really want you to grab. So again, your behavioral triangle here. So again, we talk about the cookbook, guys. It's very important to have a systematic approach to not only your day, but what your behaviors are doing as far as your plans, your actions, and your goals, right? So your habits, power of intention. We've all probably, heard of the books out there for the power of intention and, the reason we have intention behind goals and, the carrot and, all those sort of things. But really what it comes down to is, are you able to hold yourself accountable? Have you set yourself up for success? And that's the main thing here, guys. We really want to set ourselves up for success. Be easy on yourself. Don't set yourself some massive goals that are going to be really hard to achieve, right? So we really want to make sure that when you're looking at your day-to-day and you're looking at your routine, break it down to the minute. Give yourself a chance to win. As you start to get little wins, you're going to get momentum. And as you get momentum, then you're going to get that sort of big giant stone moving. And we all know that once we get into a habit or a good routine, you feel better. Give me a yes in the chat bar if you've got a routine right now that helps you and makes you feel good. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at it. All these pouring in here. Yes. So we all know what it feels like to have a really solid routine. We all know what it feels like intrinsically when we have that routine. When we have that behavior that we know is going to help us, we all know what that feels like. So we want to manifest more of that, right? So again, we want to make fewer and better decisions. Again, the key word in there, better, that's your definition, right? That has to be up to you guys. That is the accountability on you as professionals, is to find out what that really means. What is a better decision, right? I mean, I could get into different classes of experiences on this. I learned a lot of that in my high performance training that I took this year, but that's a whole other webinar. But we really want to be putting ourselves into experiences that are going to help us be better in life. And that's what we need to be looking at each day, okay? So again, actions, really it comes down to, you don't have to think about it, you just do it. It's kind of automatic. Like for me, I get up, I work out, I take the dog out, I feed the dog, I meditate, I journal, and then I'm ready to start work. It's almost like on autopilot. And really it helps me get my day set, right? It's unburdened and it's gutsy, because it does take a lot of guts to stick to it. We all know that 1 or 2 days away from a routine and your whole week could be off, right? So again, we got to be gutsy. We have to take accountability for what we're trying to achieve here. But again, when we look at our plans, you know, we can fine tune these, we can track them, we can build them. That's the important thing here, right, guys? A routine, a schedule. How are we measuring it? We got to be able to measure it somehow. That's why I asked you if you're assessing yourself each day after work, scoring yourself, getting some metrics, all very important things to do. Otherwise, you're kind of just like a weather vane, right? We really need to make sure that we have a staple in what we would like to achieve and what it looks like when we do achieve it. So again, the attitude triangle includes how you feel about yourself, your organization, and your marketplace. So who's having some mixed feelings about their marketplace right now? Who's having a hard time in their marketplace right now? Give me a yes in the chat bar. Okay, I got a large, yeah, some capitals with with the responses. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So a lot of us, including, you know, us here at Sandler, we're noticing, you know, a different market. It's a different market right now, but the attitude that I have towards my organization has actually grown. You know, I love where I work, and, you know, I want to push through this, and I want to do the best for our clients out in the market right now. I know that a lot of people on the call right now are struggling, and we at Sandler are really trying to help you out. So our attitude, instead of folding up shop and not trying to do anything, our attitude is on point right now. We're really trying to make an impact in the market. And this all comes down to the team that Eric has created, right? So our body, our spirit, and our mind, we're all working towards something individually that's helping us achieve a major goal here, right? So again, your body, your mind, and your spirit. When you're looking at your routine, a lot of people, when they probably hopped on this call this morning, they were thinking routine has to do strictly with work, but a lot of it has to do with just how you're being right now, guys, your attitude, and really how you want to perceive yourself while you're working at home. It's a lot different, but your attitude needs to almost be exemplified. You want to be the best version of yourself right now that you can be. And that's what I'm really hoping we can propel people to do on this call today. Pick out who that person looks like. What does the best Lori Greerwood look like? What does the best Patrice look like? You know, kind of get a picture for that, get a feel for that. And that's what you really want to work towards, right? That's what those behavioral attitude and technique sort of will push you in that direction. The U triangle, again, the body, mind, and spirit we touched on. So routine defined, performed as a part of a regular procedure rather than for a special reason. This is key, guys. So A routine is performed as part of a regular procedure. And we've, I guess, nailed this over and over through this session already in the first half hour, but this really has to be something that is on, on the regular. We have to hold ourselves accountable to those procedural things that we need to do day in and day out in order to get that output that we're looking for, okay? Not just for a special reason. I'm gonna redo my routine now that I'm working at home because I need to. No, it should be because you want to. That's the difference. This is key. We really need to find that, okay? Fully agree. Awesome, Roger. Absolutely. This is what it's all about. We need to take ownership over our routines. And obviously, all of us, I'm pretty sure all of us on the call have had to adjust something or redefine something in our routine, but we need to hold ourselves accountable to it. And it's not for a special reason we're doing it. We're doing it because this is now regular procedure, and this is how we get business done, okay? So here's the mindset shift. So we touched on it earlier, and this is something that I'm very passionate about. So rather than saying I need to do this today or a to-do list, let's start with a I must do this list. What must get done? What must happen today in order for me to get my PQO, that prolific quality output? What must I absolutely get done today? Not need, must, right? So let's take a look at your current routine assessment. We're going to do a little poll here. Let's do another poll. We're going to launch this poll. And we'll hop into the next half of this session here, guys. I really appreciate you guys chatting in the chat bar. It really helps to make sure that this is a little more interactive. I know it's hard with the PowerPoint. I wish I had you all live, but that day will soon come again. But let's see if we can get some answers here on this poll. The biggest distraction I'm currently facing in my new work setup is, we've got a lot of environment, my lack of structure. Okay, those are the leaders right now. Give this another 30 seconds and see what we can come back with. Very good. Close the poll in another couple seconds here. All right, let's end that poll there, guys. So 50% of the people on the call right now, guys, are finding it difficult, and the biggest distraction is their environment. And you know what? If you've never worked from home before or never worked remotely before, this will be your biggest distraction. Okay, depending on your setup. And we went through a few things on my first session last week. On Monday, we talked about the importance of a work setup and what that looks like, and making sure that you're defining a space for yourself. So you might want to go back and have a listen to that. But again, the environment and lack of structure, right, guys? This is really what's going to impact our day-to-days. So current routine assessment. So let's take a look at your routine right now. Maybe you can find some time after this session today and really dive in and assess what your routine is actually doing positively for you, and where are the negative parts of your routine. We want to assess those right away. We want to increase that clarity. Remember, we already talked about that. Let's find some clarity around what we absolutely need to get done as far as our market, right? In today's market, I need to become very, very clear on what I need to do on a day in and day out. We need to increase necessity. What is that? That is that I must do this. That's necessity. What is something that absolutely must get done today? That is an absolute necessity for me, my business, and my teammates. What do I need to do? And again, to increase that productivity, I keep bringing it up, and I think I've brought it up on every session that I've delivered, is 60% of your day or week should be spent on needle-moving activities. The other 40% can be your life, and that's fine, like spending time with friends and family. Well, hopefully not doing that right now, but your pets and all of that. The 60% needs to be spent on things that help you move the needle forward, right? Again, if you're a project manager, you're moving on things that will help you move that project along. You're following up with people right away. You're not putting things off that you could be doing now. This is the mindset that we need to have around our routine. So building a good daily routine. And again, guys, I'm not going to go into crazy depth about people like Tim Ferriss who get up at 4 in the morning and go to archery practice and then meditate for 4 hours and then, you know, and then we're not all like that. And I appreciate that. Unless there are people on here that wake up at 4 a.m. and then go do archery and then meditate for 2 hours. I think that's fantastic. But for the rest of us on this call, we really just want to make sure that our daily routine is something that we can appreciate, right? So give me a yes right now in the chat bar if you wake up early each morning in your routine. Just give me a yes. Okay. Nice and early. Okay, so everyone's rising early. Okay, give me a yes in the chat bar right now. Are you rising more early now that you're working remotely? Oh, getting no's there. Okay, so we got sometimes no's. Okay, so okay, already guys, there's a discrepancy, right? So does our routine match our outputs right away? So some people said yes, they wake up early, but now they're saying no when they work from home. So again, something that I've went through in the last 10 years now working remotely, guys, it's got to be that routine. You got to hold yourself accountable. But that being said, don't wake up at an hour that you usually don't wake up at if you're not going to make yourself productive. It doesn't make sense to wake up at 6 a.m. and then sit there for 2 hours and, you know, look at your phone. Right? So you've got to make sure that your routine is set. If you're going to get up early, maybe that's where you generate some energy and go work out, walk your dog, come inside, have a little bit of a tea or a coffee, and then maybe you look at the news, those sort of things, right? One thing that I will suggest, and it's through a lot of research I've done, is that waking up immediately and checking your phone, not a good routine. So give me a yes in the chat bar if you're checking your phone first thing in the morning. Lots of yeses. Okay, so let's think about the mindset. Okay, thank you for your honesty, guys. I really appreciate it. Let's think about our mindset right now. If we roll over in the morning, our alarm goes off, and instead of getting up and going to work out, we look at our phone right away. We look at all this news about the COVID virus. We look about all the increasing cases around, you know, Canada and you know, the world. What kind of mindset does that put us in right away in the start of the day? What kind of mindset do you think it puts us in? Negative. Okay, thank you, Matthew. Negative. Down, puts us down. Stressed. Absolutely, Lori. It stresses us out right away, right? And to be honest, that's a controllable thing, guys, right? Don't check your phone. Try it for a couple days. Don't check your phone right away in the morning. Have your coffee. Try to get into a routine where you create some energy in the morning and then go to your phone, right? Much like when you're looking at your emails, a best practice for a routine with emails is to get all the most important emails of your day done right in the morning, not pushing them off to the afternoon. Get the big ones out, put them out. They're very important emails. Send them out right away so that people can look at those emails and you'll be able to generate conversation on those emails throughout the day rather than waiting, okay? Again, aim low and build the habit. So again, like I mentioned before, don't stress yourself out about your routine. Your routine should be something that's organic, that helps you move through your day. But again, we're looking for small wins here, okay? We don't want to stress ourselves out and make us overwhelmed with this routine. That's not the point here. The point is to really get clear on what we want to achieve, why we want to achieve it, and how we're going to do it. That's what we really want to focus on. This is the big thing, and we all were, you know, on the same page with this, is that time is a non-renewable resource. Treat it like money. So who right now in the chat treats their time like money? Give me a yes if you're doing that. Adam, awesome. Shannon, yes, great. Yes with a dollar sign, I like it. Not really, okay, definitely. I appreciate the honesty, Martin. Definitely not really. Okay, Matthew, appreciate that. But working remotely, can you guys see the importance of looking at your time like money? Because it really boils down to that, guys. If you were working on your own and you were running your own business right now, that is your biggest asset, is your time and what you're doing with it. Okay? So let's move forward. So now we're gonna work in, we've got about 15 minutes left in this call, guys, and these are just a few questions that I really want you to ask yourself. So you have a piece of paper in front of you. Let's see if we can answer these. We got about 13 minutes left. So the outputs that matter most in my career are, right? Those are those productive things that we need to do day in and day out. Some things I could stop doing so I can focus on productivity are, the percentage of my work week I will spend on output activities will be, and I will make this happen by doing the following. And this last one, I really want you to give some thought to. If I was more intentional with my time, the first thing that would happen is, so let's answer that in the chat. If you were more intentional with your time, what would be the first thing that would happen? Productivity would go up. Absolutely. Increase sales, accomplish more. Yes, Matthew. Yes, Tracy. Absolutely, you'd be more productive. Increase sales, be more productive. There's more here. This is awesome. Outstanding, guys. So again, it's all around that intention. So let's take a look now at some high performers and why their schedules, sort of their routines are so important, okay? So again, behavioral cookbook, we've talked about the Sandler cookbook, so no goals, no pain, no action. You need to build those monthly and manage them weekly. So again, SMART goals, allows for small wins. You can cookbook anything, guys. So really you would want to have a cookbook surrounded around the coronavirus and how you're prospecting and what that looks like now on a daily basis. Mark went into some great detail about how to manage your accounts. We talked about leveraging LinkedIn and social selling. We're going to talk about virtual selling on Friday. All of this can be incorporated into your cookbook. Again, it demonstrates commitment to your goals. We need to have those goals set and they need to be clear, guys, within our routines. So the practice of time blocking. Who on the call right now uses time blocking? Give me a yes. Okay, awesome. Fairly straightforward practice when you're looking at scheduling. But again, we want to make sure that 40% of your calendar stays open for life. Sorry, for life, meaning if you look at this day right now, this day, this person has no time to do absolutely anything and can't make a mistake on anything. That is not a realistic schedule, and it's not realistic when you're looking at time blocking, okay? It's one thing to set meetings, but it's another thing to have, you know, time in there for breaks. They say that you should be taking a break every 50 minutes, 50. So who right now on the call is taking a break every 50 minutes? Nope, nope, LOL, yeah, laugh out loud. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, guys, so if you're looking at productivity, and again, this is taken from a lot of the research I've done with high performance and a lot of the schooling that I got, is that if you're looking at a high performer, they generally will take breaks throughout the day. Small 10, 15-minute breaks, but working for 3 or 4 hours on end at one specific task, your output will go down. It's absolutely factual that your output will go down. So if you can take, you know, a 50-minute block, section it, and then have a 10 or 15-minute break after, and then go through a transition, you know, make sure that you're set, you've got your mindset now, what you're working on, and then do another 50 minutes. It's a good way to go through things. I know that my wife, Ashley, who is extremely productive, she is an extremely high performer. She's used the Pomodoro system. Who's heard of the Pomodoro system before? Give me a yes in the chat bar. No, we've got some question marks. So basically the Pomodoro system is, it's like time blocking, but basically you're using an alarm. So you would set a task. So I want to work on prospecting right now. I'm going to set an alarm for 25, 30 minutes. And when that 30 minutes is done, I evaluate how I did on my time. And then I might need to set another alarm to continue to work. But really what you're doing is you're assessing your time throughout the day. Okay, so it really helps keep things moving, and it really helps you to identify where you might be lacking, and maybe you might find out that that specific activity requires more than 25 or 30 minutes. Okay, so there's a few things that you can look up on Google. Pomodoro system is one of those things that's not specific to Sandler, but it's something that does work. Time blocking works as well. They journal. So high performers, guys, they journal every single morning. And it's not, you know, dear diary, da da da. It's not something like that. It's more along the lines of, what am I grateful for? Like this morning I did my journal, and I'm grateful that my lungs work and I'm able to see, and that I can breathe, and that, you know, I can get up and I can work today, and I have the opportunity to be on a conference call with all you guys. Like, those are the things that I'm accountable for and I'm grateful for in the morning. Okay, this journaling like this, and it doesn't have to be something super, super crazy, guys. I can actually show you a couple things right now that might help with this. So let me just show you this. Hello. So we've got about 7 minutes left. So this is one journal that I used to use. It's called the 5-minute journal. 5 minutes in the morning, you wake up, you go through a few things. I am grateful for, what would make today great, daily affirmations, and then you do another little one at night. So this is a great tool for someone just starting out with journaling. The 5-minute journal, I love it. If you want to get a little more advanced, this is the high performer planner I use from Brendon Burchard's High Performance. And basically, guys, it goes through all sorts of things in here. I mean, there's 10 questions that I ask myself every morning. So one thing I can get excited about today, someone I could surprise with a note or a gift or sign of appreciation is. If I was a high performance coach looking at my life from a high level, I would tell myself to remember that. So questions like that, right? Tasks that absolutely must be done today, today's top 3 goals and priorities, my message to myself today. And then you'll notice there's a score that I give myself each night after my workday is done. So I'm constantly assessing day in and day out. And then on a monthly basis, which is quite interesting, there you go. On a monthly basis, I'm giving myself a score. And Brendon uses 10 life sort of areas, where Sandler will use 8. But that synergistic goal setting is incorporated here as well. So if I'm having some rough days, I can go back and look at, what was I doing this week that sort of took me off base. So again, planners like this are next level, but really, really helpful if you really want to plan your day and help move yourself forward. Okay. As we move into the last 5 minutes of the presentation here today, guys, I'm just going to fly through a couple things here. Again, eat, move, sleep, all very important. You're hydrating. You know, they say that 1% can thrive with less than 5 hours of sleep. I mean, get your sleep. 8 hours, you shouldn't be, you know, sleeping for 5 hours. Again, high performance guys, they're purposeful. You know, lots of books, lots of podcasts, mindfulness, creative pursuits. Limit your emails, right? Small doses. Don't just sit there for hours and go through emails. It'll suck the energy right out of you. They prioritize their day. So high performance are all about prioritization. So have a system in place for managing your tasks. Again, there's lots of apps on your iPhone that you could go. If a daily planner is not your cup of tea, you can definitely download apps on your phone that help with time management and things like that. Again, try something that you haven't tried before, right? Throw something into the mix that will help you become a better human. This is what routine is all about. Getting off autopilot, right? So that's a big thing that we really want to look at today is write some things down in your calendars, block some stuff, try to journal. I mean, they talk about tree planting here. I mean, going out and do something different in your day. I don't know if you're going to be taking some time out of your day to go plant a tree, but they throw it out there, right? So are you living a life of default or design? Remember that today plus today plus today plus today equals your future. We really want to make sure that we're building and our routines are designed. I mean, we really want to make them bulletproof, right, guys? We want to design them for the long term. So when this is all done, we'll be in a position where we're able to move forward after the COVID sort of slows down a bit. And maybe this will be a routine that you'll take to your new place of business. And remember, guys, it's all about the small things, and be kind to yourself. With these routines, we need to be kind to ourselves. We need to set ourselves up for success. Small wins. This is what's really going to help, build a solid routine. Time blocking. Find some goals, some synergistic goals, and really dial in why you're doing certain things throughout your day. Okay? Is there any questions? I know we flew through a lot of material there, guys. If you got some benefit from this today, one thing that would really help us out at Sandler is if you could go on to our LinkedIn business page or any of the posts that you've seen and like and comment on there, guys. We really want to make sure that people are getting the most from these sessions. Again, if you're friends with me on LinkedIn, I'd love to connect and just try to put these sessions out there. I mean, we're getting high 60s, 70s, hundreds of people that are showing up for these things. So we really want to make sure that we're making the best impact that we can. Very insightful. You're very welcome, guys. And listen, I really appreciate you guys showing up early on a Monday. I know we've had people all across Canada show up on this webinar. So for people that are tuning in from all the way to Vancouver to here, thank you. We're really, really excited that you guys joined us. And if there's anything we can do at Sandler, please let us know. My email's there. We're here to help support you guys. So have a fantastic day. I don't think there's any questions really that are coming through here. So you're very welcome, Chris. I hope that you all gained something from this. You're very welcome, Tamara. Have a fantastic rest of the week. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. I'll be talking about going from a vendor to an advisor mindset. It's going to be a really impactful session again. So we'll see you guys on Wednesday and Friday. Don't forget to sign up for Mark's session on virtual selling. So it's going to be a big week. We got lots planned here at Sandler. So again, have a fantastic week, guys, and good selling. We'll talk to you later. See you later, guys. Thank you very much for showing up.